I've got a Gibson without a case, but I can't get that even tan look on my face. And I'm not likely to today either, because I would estimate you could see about 20 yards because of the fog. And it is 12:30 in the afternoon, and it doesn't look as though we're going to see any sunlight at all today. Now, so obviously going onto the moors with my straight edge is a very silly thing to do. Is it Inside Science? Some kind of science nonsense on Radio 4. I do tend to listen to those things just kind of by accident. It's just on, and I do kind of crave entertainment. It's probably a weakness, but it really makes me angry sometimes. Not angry, but despair. It makes me despair for the human condition. I think the program was started by the presenter announcing that perihelion of the sun just passed. In the heliocentric model's winter, the sun is 3 million miles further away. And when I say winter, I mean in their eyes in the northern hemisphere, which I am anyway. And dear, what a load of bullshit. And of course, the sun is further away right now. It's just coming back towards the back towards the equator, and is having just been circling the Tropic of Capricorn. And then again, the latest thinking is that, well, it's not the latest thinking. It's been thought for about over a year or so now, that the sun is definitely a subjective phenomena where you can see it from your own perspective, and somebody else 100, 200 or thousands of miles away would see not necessarily the same thing, but the same illusion as a disk of fire in the sky, sort of thing. So it's definitely not, as the heliocentric model would have it, a big 93 million mile away ball of nuclear fusion. That is nonsense. A friend of mine told me that very soon there's a big building being built where nuclear fusion is going to take place, and that's the end of all our energy worries. I think he may have read that article from 30 years ago, because I do remember. It's just like, again, going to Mars, going to the moon. No, it's not going to happen unless it's a Walt Disney production, like the other time they went supposedly to the moon. Now, also on this science program, I say science program on Radio 4. I think it was on it was on Radio 4 anyway. I think it was on the news, actually. This particular article about this Japanese lying shit who was on the film set where they filmed the fake station, and he professed to have grown 9 centimeters. Well, maybe it was his nose that grew 3.5 inches, like Pinocchio, because he's a lying shit. Anybody who pretends professes to have been to the fake station or the lie SS is a lying shit. Or turd, if you prefer the term turd, lying turd. There are that many green screen, blue screen fails available to us all on the internet. Watch them. If you think for 1 second that there are people going 17,500 miles an hour around a spherical Earth in the vacuum of space, you are either seriously befuddled in the brain, or you haven't seen any of the obvious green stroke blue screen fails and all the rest of the nonsense, the harness bulks and the obvious vomit comet illusions, tricks, and like I said before, if what's his name, Copperfield, can disappear a jumbo jet or whatever he did, then there ain't much you can't do through fakery, because obviously he didn't make the jumbo jet disappear, did he now? Yes, in front of our eyes it went, but I don't think you can just dissolve matter like that, like he would suggest that you could. That is, he's a magician. He's not a. He's a magician. So that is his trick, and it is a magic trick. Now, when people trick you and don't tell you that it's a magic trick, that's called lying turdism, or choose your own term, but make sure lying some kind of fecal matter then after that, and that will suffice. And so on the so obviously about the Japanese astronaut or actonaut, about him and his 9 centimeter growing nose. He's since retracted his statement and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got it wrong." So maybe his nose has gone back, shrunk back. I don't know whether that actually did happen to Pinocchio, but maybe so. So he said, "But I'm still lying. I'm still a lying shit. But that lie was too much for you to accept. So I'll have to retract it. So I'm not investigated." And you see, all these people who you see flying around, supposedly 17,500 miles an hour in the fake station, they are all owned by NASA, by the authorities, by Walt Disney, whoever. They're owned. They are. They've got something on them. They are blackmail victims. They're probably paedophiles or some repulsive, repugnant bastard like that. They're probably they weren't just found with their hands in the cookie jar. No, something far worse. Either murderers, paedophiles, or rapists, or something like that. I don't know. Take your pick. All the most unsavory things you could possibly think of. And it's very sad, but humans are susceptible to that sort of compromise, I suppose. So anyway, this the the science program on Radio 4. Never trust anything that they say. Just the most recent thing is some chip of meteorite or some fucking thing 20 years ago fell to Earth. And, guess what? Now they've discovered on that meteorite the amino acids necessary to create life. And water. Can you imagine that bullshit? It just didn't happen like that. There is an intelligent creator behind everything you see. We're all made of the same stuff. Like I said before, if it was Lego, Lego did not evolve as a piece of Lego, but all the Lego bricks can all be so positioned and stuck together to create an elephant, a daffodil, a jellyfish, me, you, etc. And that is, very simplistically, what must have gone on. Now, I'm not claiming I know who did it. It could be a collection of intelligence. It could be one single intelligence. It could be we could be farmed. We could be being held prisoner. Who knows? But it certainly didn't come from the primordial soup and struck by lightning. That is so ridiculous. If you understand what a cell is and the complexity of that cell, if you understand how that could not have arisen through chance or through a lightning strike, and the way there's three letters in your DNA, and those sequences of those letters, read about it, look into it. Then you'll know that the people who worship God are actually closer to being right. Now, that's something I could never have thought of just 5 years ago, but they are actually closer to being right than the people who are atheists. Now, somebody asked this person, this supposed scientist, why they'd just discovered this the amino acids on this piece of rock that fell from the sky. And they said, oh, well, the technology's got so much better. And that's all they have to say, isn't it? And did they show it to me? No, because it was on the radio. But even if it was on the television, did they show you the moon landings on the television? Yes. Do you get my point? They can fake anything. They can, and not only can they fake anything, but they can make people believe it, because we are so used to taking on board the bullshit from the television and the media. Stage sets, sound stages, film studios can be made to look now with the green screen technology. Anywhere you want to be, they can put you, and it's so sad. It's so sad. Now, some of us can tell, and as far as I know, I can tell, but they may have even bettered, because they're always improving, so supposedly. If you look at the original and the best, in my opinion, film King Kong, now that is fantastically done for the time, but of course you can tell that it's a screen behind or whatever. Of course you can tell it's stop motion animation when he's fighting the dinosaur and all that. But there goes more programming there. But do you see how things have improved so greatly? Anyway, time to go. and look after each other. See you soon.